Good morning, welcome to a new market update. Today is a special day and you can see it here as it's match day. It's Ajax final today. It's very unfortunate that we can't go to the stadiums, as otherwise this would have been a very nice day outside drinking beers with friends, enjoying the match. But hey, now I have time to make a video. We're going to discuss altcoins today, as altcoins are doing really well. We're going to go into depth on Bitcoin for a little. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to follow me on Instagram. Tomorrow at 8 p.m. Central European Time, we're doing a live stream again, as we always do on Monday, where you can answer or where you can ask me anything you want. I'll be online for like an hour to answer all your questions, going through charts as well. What do we see with Bitcoin in general at this point? We can see that Bitcoin is consolidating, and Bitcoin consolidating suits the altcoins relatively well, and we see them popping left and right. Market is still eager for some further corrections on Bitcoin, as we have just witnessed a 4x in general, so a slight correction would not be unhealthy, or at least consolidation, and luckily we are getting those, in which we have been constructing the range bound area that we are acting in right now with Bitcoin, as we clearly have resistance around this 40.5 to 42k zone, and we clearly have a higher time frame support around the 30k area. This is the range where we are acting in. This is also the range where we are going to be acting in for a little while normally. And in this case we also saw that we have had this 40k level we rejected. First level of interest where we could be bouncing from then is this range or this construction around 34.3. You can see that we have seen such a bounce, immediately rejected at the previous support and the OB here, in which we are going down some more. What is likely to happen at this point for Bitcoin? It's quite tricky. We are still acting on support, so most likely given this falling wedge construction, I would not be unsurprised if we're going to see a run towards 39 to 40k again. However, it's tricky as we are in mid-range, so if we can't pass through 36 to 36.5, we might be getting this further consolidation downwards, but the primary point of the Bitcoin chart right now is that it's eager for consolidation. And in general, I would be very happy if we do that for the several months, as another acceleration would not be great for the markets in general organically. So I'm still assuming that we're going to consolidate. Right now it's a little tricky where we're heading. If we get into this range, heavily interested for buys. If we get into this range, depending on the structure, most likely interested in sells. But what did we see in the previous days? We did see that altcoins were chasing or were waking up. And we can see that those are making relief rallies in the Bitcoin pair, while they are making all-time highs or significant rallies in the USDT pair. So right now what we are witnessing is that altcoins are waking up. They are waking up from their winter sleep. They are actually starting to pace with Bitcoin. And the moment that Bitcoin is going to consolidate, altcoins will do that. However, you should be aware that this is still only a relief rally on the Bitcoin pairs. So what we're most likely going to experience after these runs is another consolidation period before acceleration. So for Chainlink, you can also see similar momentum. In 2020, we've actually seen that we saw such a rally as well, breakout, rally during the first period of the year, another drop down, consolidation, and then the massive breakout during the summer. In this case, we do see that Chainlink is dropping down south. We are making lower lows, lower highs, currently another lower low, and actually we are just making a lower high again on the Bitcoin pair, which is making this a relief rally. So depending on whether Bitcoin is going to break out up again or actually going to correct some more, causing the Bitcoin pairs to drop a little and have that correction as well, we are actually making a lower high here on LIC against BTC. So the most likely case is that we're currently just going to get that consolidation period on Chainlink, in which the actual breakout will come later on. So you're already experiencing FOMO and a bull market on altcoins right now, while you should also be aware to take some partial profits and use that liquidity to accumulate your bag some more, as most likely that correction or healthy test of lower levels is going to occur. So that's the current difference between the Bitcoin and the USDT pairs. For Chainlink, we're currently witnessing that we're getting into a resistance zone. Most likely we're not going to break through in one go, are getting some more consolidation. If we get here or if we get in this range, that will be healthy and very nice for any buy the dip opportunities. But then if we are looking at Chainlink against USDT pair, we can actually see that we've made a new high. Quite tricky chart in general, but the critical area to hold was this area around 13 bucks. We did hold there and we started to accelerate. So at this point, we did see this $13 bounce, or at least holding level here. What are you currently going to look at is that in general, we do not go below that area. If we are getting a correction on Chainlink, which would not be unhealthy, these are the regions you are watching. So some more consolidation before continuation in general. Lower time frame levels, level around 18 bucks is interesting for an entry, and then you can see that we've got one here and we've got one here, which is confluent with the daily time frame. So most likely we're just going to make those chops continuously before we start to accelerate again. We've also seen those chops here, but overall it's very healthy. I think you should just partially profit your positions and just accumulate a little bit more. What do we also see? We also see that other altcoins are waking up. Cosmos has been doing really well. We have been discussing that its current trend is making lower highs. Compression, breakout, but you see that we are not accelerating too fast on the momentum in general. So if we get into this region to make another high low, that is quite fine before the bull market continues. And you should be aware that those moves that we're currently witnessing are almost 2x moves. So taking some profits there is just quite healthy to do. If we're checking the Bitcoin chart, we can actually see that we've made this bullish divergence we have discussed previously, and currently we are testing the previous support for resistance once again, most likely not going to break through which we get a very similar chart as what we witnessed on Chainlink, in which we most likely get a retest of this region here if we fail to break through the previous support zone or currently resistance. If we do make the breaker and flip, most likely continuation is happening. But at this point you should still be aware that we're just seeing relief rallies on the Bitcoin pairs. Then finally one that's doing really well, that's Curve. If we, it has been showing some pain generally. What we see here is that there is a resistance support area that we're currently facing. In general, if something has been expanding like this quite a lot, just like Polkadot did as well, you should not be interested at all. You should be looking at any of these confluence levels for interest points. If you're going to look for day trades, lower time frames are fine, but these levels are where you're going to look at, as you can see that every move is correcting as well. Currently finding resistance, most likely going to consolidate before expansion is going to happen, but the altcoins are waking up and you have not seen anything at all. It's just waking up out of their winter sleep, and we are going to see very big moves in which the 2017 all-time high is just going to be a tiny move on the next cycle. So I hope this video gave you some insights on the altcoins and Bitcoin. I'll be back tomorrow morning with a new market update and tomorrow evening with a live stream. Subscribe beneath, like the video, and follow me on Instagram. And today it's going to be 4-1. See you around.